And what's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Could I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being with me this morning. Today is Thursday. It is February 20th, and it is bone chilling cold over here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The feels like this morning was like 12 or something like that. So I got the jacket on today for the show. Today, we're going to go over some great stuff. The article that we're going to highlight today is from Bama 247. Alex Scarborough does an amazing job. He has the connections like a lot of these team reporters do. He spoke with Kalen Deboer, and I advise you to go read that article, 247 Bama. A lot of good intel in there in terms of the quarterback competition, just talking about the quarterbacks, and then also Coach Kalen Deboer talking about Ryan Grubb. So read the articles this morning and give you my take. We're going to show you some quotes, obviously not the full stuff, but get your take, and, of course, go check out those websites. I mean, it's amazing to see those writers and kind of the relationships that they've established. Alex Scarborough came over from ESPN. You look at, some of the other great writers for like On 3, the Charlie Potters, the Andrew Bones, Tony Sukalas from Rivals. Man, there's like all those guys who are doing such an amazing job. I have so much respect for those guys in the industry as they continue to level up, right? And even like on the national scene, I mean, clearly like the king is Josh Pate, but we've seen J.D. Piquel, he's done an amazing job at On3 and building his platform, and Josh Newberg and all those guys. So plenty of guys to choose from. And even like smaller guys that have Bama sites, man, go follow it all. Just have gratitude and respect for all those guys, all of them out there. But you guys are rocking with me right now. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys for getting inside the comment box and rocking with me today. We have 112,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Also dropped another podcast talking men's health on F3 Tuscaloosa, so you can check that out on our Instagram channel. Should I start an Instagram channel and just kind of cut up shorts and add it to Instagram? I don't know. I've thought about it. I usually only do things that, kind of make sense to me from like a monetary standpoint. But maybe Instagram's an area. We have a Facebook page that's been fun to interact on. I don't have like a website, but Instagram's another area that you can check out, of course. So maybe I'll dabble there. But Facebook, we have stuff on Facebook, YouTube. Sometimes it gets too overwhelming, even for me. So I'm like, whatever. Kent, what's up, man? Max, Tooney, Daniel, Adams, I appreciate you guys. If you guys are lit up in green, that means you guys are fan funders of the YouTube channel. For less than an energy drink, $2.99, you can support Bama Football on YouTube. So think about becoming a fan funder to further support the show. These are also uploaded as podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. So, look, I said that Bama 247 has they have a couple great articles right now running talking about Coach Kalen Deboer, the interview with Coach Kalen Deboer. He's talking about the quarterback competition. And the first thing that Coach Kalen Deboer says when talking about the quarterbacks is he says that all three are passing first quarterbacks and guys that can athletically extend plays. And this is something that I think is very important to highlight, because when you look to the quarterbacks that we have on the roster, it's not guys that are not mobile. And I think that while they're pass first guys, they're athletic in their own right. Like, I felt that by the end of Jalen Milroe's career, he was more of a running threat than a passing threat. We've gone over that a million different times. But whoever the quarterback is, it's important to remember that each of these guys has a special skill set, and they can run. Even Austin Mack, for being as big as he is, the guy can, extend plays. And that's one of the things that I want to see for myself. Like, I haven't really seen him do that, but Coach Kalen Deboer is saying that he's athletically gifted enough to extend plays. And I think that's really important considering that Alabama doesn't have a right tackle. Just kidding. They'll fix it. I'm just saying, you got to be able to move. You got to be able to extend plays. And sometimes when I watch film on Ty Simpson, I get excited about some of the plays that he's made on the ground. People ask me, like, who he's comparable to. I don't know. That's a question that I have for you inside the comment box. Who do you think that Ty Simpson, you pick any quarterback, college football, NFL, who do you think that he's comparable to? So those are the things that I'm watching is how do those quarterbacks operate within the pocket? Because if they're pass first, which I truly think that each of those guys are, they got to be able to also extend plays. That's part of it. That's what you got to do. Tough as nails. What's up, man? Roll Tide. I see you inside the comment box. Marcus, what's up, man? Stay relentless. Dylan Winningham, what's up, man? Oh, man, we're not going to talk about the basketball team today. Oh, my goodness. Yo, that was crazy. Missouri took it to him. Damon Diley is saying that Ty Simpson is comparable to Mac Jones. You know, look, I love you, man. I appreciate the inside the comment box. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you. You know what? But Jarvis is saying Bo Nix. That might be a good comparison. All right? That is a good comparison. I would have never thought. Because Bo Nix, it was crazy. He did well here at Auburn against Alabama, of course. Every Auburn quarterback does amazing. That's why it's scary that Jackson Arnold is over here with Auburn now. Is Bo Nix a good comparison? Thumbs up if you agree. I think that's a really good comparison. Ooh, Brock Purdy? Damn, dude. You know Brock. Case is a fan funder for 8 months? That's what's up. Ooh, Brock Purdy. You know, that's my love language is the 49ers. I think Bo Nix is a good, comparison. And the thing about it is, like, Bo Nix can extend plays. He has a live arm, pretty good deep ball ability. I would have never thought that Bo Nix had the season that he had with the Denver Broncos. I had him on fantasy football. Yo, that guy was balling out. So, look, my point is getting to this is each of those guys, according to Coach Kalen Deboer, through an article with Alex Scarborough of Bama 247, those guys can extend plays. We've seen that from Ty Simpson. Go back and watch his film. You need 12 yards against Mercer. You needed 11. He got 12. Austin Mack, I want to see that from my own eyes. I haven't seen that before. And then with Keelan Russell, he is very comparable to Jaden Daniels. Straight up, I know that's a gigantic comparison. It's like, because what Jaden Daniels did this past season, the NFL, I don't know if Rookie of the Year has been released or not, but that's the guy who should win it. That's my pick. So Keelan Russell, he has that skill set to where he's able to, utilize his legs. He's fast. The guy can move. But each of these guys aren't like tuck it and run. These guys are going to distribute the ball 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards, deep ball, work the progressional reads, and that's what we need to see from a quarterback here at the University of Alabama if we want to take the next step forward under Coach Kalen DeBoer, which I think they're really going to do because of Ryan Grubb. Ryan Grubb coming here, Nick Sheridan now working with the quarterbacks, all the crew back on together. Alabama even added, a former coach that coached at Washington, right? Another wide receivers coach, like an assistant coach yesterday. I really feel that you take a big step forward because of Ryan Grubb. And think about this. This was something that was interesting from the article as well. Coach Kalen DeBoer was saying, now we understand our roster personnel, and we can help Ryan Grubb get caught up to speed with the personnel. Last year, when Coach Kalen DeBoer and his staff came in, not only were they kind of, trying to figure out everything from a personnel standpoint, who could really play, who could really shine out, who can really perform at the highest level. You didn't know that. Now Alabama knows that. And that'll make it a much easier transition in year 2. Hey, man, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Thanks for being here, bro. Crimson Angel, what's up, man? QJJU, what's up, man? People were like, why do you like to give out shout outs in the comment box? Because these are the damn people that are watching my show. So I appreciate you guys. All right. So that's what Coach Kalen DeBoer had to say in terms of like the passing quarterbacks that can also extend plays. I thought it was a really good article, so definitely go check it out. And then he breaks it up into 3 quarterbacks, like what they can each do. And I thought this was great as well, right? So Ty has experience, 16 games that the guys played in. None of these other guys, Austin and Keelan Russell coming in, these guys have not played the volume that Ty has. And that goes for something, right? Playing 15, 16 games, that tells you that he has experience. And that's good. We want somebody who has experience. He hasn't started a game, though. You haven't gone on the road to Tallahassee. You haven't gone on the road to Georgia. Okay, but he has a little bit of experience. And Coach Kalen DeBoer says in the article that Austin Mack had a nice fall. I thought he did have a nice fall, too. And sometimes Austin Mack is a guy that gets a little bit overshadowed just because he's, we like to think of him as a third-team quarterback or the 14 quarterback. That guy is always going to be overshadowed. The guy who's always better is the second quarterback, and the guy who's third, nobody talks about him because that's just how life is. But according to Coach Kalen Deboer, he did have a nice fall. I thought he did it threw a, and the opportunities he had, he came in and threw a touchdown. So that was good to hear. And from the clips that I saw, like, the clips that Alabama sends out, just, they make sure it's just like Instagram. It's all polished. If you want to make an Instagram account or a social media account, you should call it like the real life stuff, like your daily stuff that you do, like the real stuff in your day. That would be an Instagram account worth following, like the real stuff. Putting away the laundry, endless dishwasher, picking up the backyard, the dog stuff, man. That's the real life stuff. You can't put a filter on that stuff. Chores. But in the opportunities that I saw from Austin Mack, it looks like he has a good throwing motion. I like his size, I'm not going to lie. That's something that definitely stands out to me. I've seen him bombing downfield and just like, simple a quarterback to a wide receiver, like throw it 40 yards downfield. I could do that as well. But it looked nice. So I'm excited about Austin. And then Kalen Russell, and this is in no particular order. I guess you could go by like seniority of the guys here. And Coach Kalen Deboer says that Kalen Russell has that special skill set that he just has. Bro, he's just a baller. He's the number, 1, 2 guy in the entire country. And don't be mad at that. No, don't, like, these competition is good for every single thing. Because when you're not being pushed, you're not getting better. And I hope that Coach Kalen Deboer keeps the competition through spring football. And I hope that he determines the starter in August rather than determining the starter like right now. And I think from a strategic standpoint as well, like, you got to keep these guys from hitting the transfer portal. I hate that window on the 15th. Jarvis points out the fact that Kalen Russell, and someone whoever puts these like stats and whoever jumps on this stuff, amazing. Jarvis points out the fact that Kalen Russell is the highest prospect that Alabama has ever signed. Think about that. Kalen Deboer comes in and signs the highest prospect that Bama's ever had, higher than Coach Saban. Oh, I want to clarify something. So yesterday, how many of you inside the comment box were able to watch the show on Fox Nation, the Bama docuseries? Raise your hand. I watched it. Thumbs up if you did. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it a 7 out of 10. One of the things that I mentioned in the show, yesterday's show, was the fact that Ryan Williams, according to Jamarcus Shepard, ran for over 8,000 yards, okay, out of practice. And somebody inside the comment box just before I jumped on there, they were like, what the hell does that even mean? That's fine. People need, like, maybe I didn't explain it or whatever. How to watch it, you go to foxnation.com. It's another thing you have to sign up for. It's $7.99 a month. I know. I signed up just to watch it. What was I going to do? Not watch it? But there's a clip of Jamarcus Shepard talking to the wide receiver. He's like, Ryan Williams today ran for over 8,000 yards. What that means is at the practice. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. So it looks like it's $4.99 a month. At that particular practice that day, Ryan Williams ran for over 8,000 yards in total at practice. Okay. Somebody inside the comment box was like, damn, that comes out to like 4.5 miles. Then I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, if he's doing that, let's say Monday through Friday, he's racking up some mileage. The next player to run for that type of mileage was Kendrick Law, who's now transferred out to Kentucky, who ran for 6,000 yards. And my point tying that in together was, man, look, this guy is working at that level at practice, right? I thought it was an impressive stat. He also ran the fastest at practice too, which was like almost 22 miles an hour. Anyways, back to the quarterbacks. These are the three things that Coach Kalen Deboer hit on each of these guys in the recent article with Bama 247. Go check it out. I know there's a lot of different things to sign up for. Inside the comment box, we have a question saying that, I don't know where it went. I guess it flew up. But someone points out that one thing that they've noticed from the fourth quarter program pictures, and we'll show those courtesy of the University of Alabama, is that all the players have their shirts tucked in. I noticed that as well, too. Something that stands out. I don't know. It seems like that is something that they did last year, too. I don't know. It'd be really easy to go back and see. But, yeah, it does seem like they've been tightened up. I'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. Coach Kalen Deboer, speaking about his prize quarterback from the class of 2025, says, I think in our system, we've had first-year guys come in and have a lot of success. That's Kalen Deboer talking to 247 Bama's Alex Scarborough. The article mentions that in the past, Kalen Deboer has played guys early at Indiana and at Fresno State. I know there's a lot of you that want to see Keelan Russell come in if he is ready to go and be that guy. Man, that would be a hell of a storyline to cover, right? If you're able to get him in and he's ready to go and perform at that high of a level as just a freshman. If he's ready to go, let him do his thing. Because the biggest thing is you have to let the best quarterback play. That's all we want, and I think we all co-sign on that. JD18, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. He says, I think if Keelan Russell can gain 15 to 20 pounds, he'll get a chance to start. I'm kind of on that train as well. That's the only thing of positive criticism that I have to say right now, and I think that's just natural. I mean, look at the guy, right? Damn, Casey here with 100 super chat. Haven't been on the streams because of work, but I'm still watching all the streams after the posted his videos. Kyle, keep up the good work, coverage. You're the best in the business, man. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate that super chat. I really, really do. So, I can't extend my gratitude enough for you to post a 100 spot, man. But damn, because things aren't cheap, man. So I appreciate you, and thank you very much for supporting the product, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And everybody who does super chat, it goes a long way. I'm content creator. This is what I choose to do, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Respect. And I was thinking about this too. Like Coach Kalen Deboer, he's not afraid to play freshmen. There's 2 freshmen that played a lot this past season. And Coach Saban always said he plays freshmen that are mentally mature. Mentally mature. I remember him talking, and I know Caleb Downs is no longer here, but he was talking about the mental maturity that Caleb Downs has, a next play mentality. And you got to have that if you're a quarterback specifically. The article also talks about kind of how mature Keelan Russell is in the mindset that he has, and that there's ups and downs during a season. And if you're a quarterback and if you're a freshman, you might throw an interception. You might fumble the ball. You might not hear the play come in. You might miss a read, something like that. Next play. Just like life. Next play. Next day mentality. Next hour mentality. Because as you know, as you grow up in life, if you fester on something that didn't go your way, it ruins your day. It ruins the momentum that you have. So when you're a young man, like 17 years old, 18 years old, you got to have the next play mentality. You got to be able to focus on the next task at hand. And if he's able to do that and he has mental maturity and he's ready to go, let him play. And those are something that just comes with repetitions, right? Against spring, during the summer, in August. It almost sets up really well for Keelan Russell to have Ty and to have Austin here. I think it's a positive. It might be a really smooth change into the guards. In the article, another soundbite. If you want to read the whole entire article, I suggest you do. It's a really good article put together. Coach Kalen Deboer is also talking about Ryan Grubb and says, I think that our coaching staff did a great job installing our base offense. This is last year, and tweaking to the personnel, which is what you want to go through every single year. And now that we know who the personnel is, the staff here can help Ryan Grubb. I thought this was a great quote right here, because I think when they first got here, you're trying to figure out we've heard that Kendrick Law is dangerous. We've heard that these guys are dangerous, but it's a difference like when the lights turn on. Like, did anyone think that Ryan Williams would be that dangerous? Did anyone think that Jerm Bernard would be the number 2 wide receiver? So you learn more about the personnel, and now that they know exactly what the personnel is and what these guys are capable of, and I'm not only talking about skill position players, I'm talking about the offensive line as well. Like, now they know they have a baseline about Geno Vandermark. Is he a reserve, or can he push for a starting spot? Right? What did you see from Wilkin Formby during his struggle? Did he complain? Did he bounce back? Is he getting better? Now they know the personnel, so they can kind of translate that to Ryan Grubb and kind of build on that system. I love that piece right there. And that's another reason that I have optimism, is because I was thinking about it. This is a great article. I was like, damn, that's right. Like, we expect so much from these guys, and rightfully so, because our, the standard is set so high. But now they know what it takes. They now, from a personnel standpoint, they know their base. So they're way ahead from where they were last year. Dennis in with the $10 super chat. What's up, man? I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me, man. I appreciate the super chats. Thank you so much. Man, Skylar's like Kyle preaching. Man, I just, this morning I did, my podcast for the men's health. And I just, one of the things that I continue to kind of just hit on that podcast, and because we're highlighting men from around the different community, is just Tony in with the super chat, man. I appreciate it, man. And like, one of the things that I don't like to like get on here and like, get on sometimes I'll get on my soapbox, I will. But man, like, just recently, man, I just been giving a lot of my like anxieties to, God, and just kind of my life has gotten so much better, man. I'm in a really good place, and I'm so thankful. And, when I was reading this article, I was like, man, these guys are so much further ahead than they were last year. And that was something that I was probably a little bit hard on them as well, man. I felt they would just kind of come in and plug and play. It wasn't a plug and play. I thought it would be. I thought they had a roster to do a lot more, but it didn't. It wasn't a plug and play season. I was wrong on that. I thought it would be. It wasn't. There was too much change for it to be plug and play. Coaches, players, whatever. Now, is this year a plug and play? Not necessarily. Maybe on the defensive side of the ball because of all the returners, but I still think you got to, kind of figure out the new continuity with the new offensive coordinator. That's where I think you need the synergy and kind of their focus of detail during spring. And that won't come in just spring. Yeah, that's going to take a while to develop for Ryan Grubb to start meshing with those guys, the quarterbacks, the running back, get a real sense, right, of what he can do with this offense. I think this is the last quote that we pull from this article. There's a couple different articles. I suggest you go read it. Alex Scarborough, How to Sit Down Interview with Coach Kalen Deboer. Well-deserved, well-earned, and go check it out, please. He says this about Nick Sheridan. He's a stud in every way, simply put. Deboer said of Sheridan. I mean, he's extremely smart. He's brilliant football mind. Most importantly, he's just a man of humility. And look, this guy was the Pete Golding, right, of last season. This is the person everybody wanted to be gone. This guy, a million people said bad things about him, me included, right? But the thing about it is this guy was, I don't think he did a good job calling the offense for the most part. There was a couple play scripts in the first half that I actually did like. There was a couple things during the season that I did like that he did. But for the most part, I felt the offense was over his head. Can you imagine coming in as a tight ends coach and then Coach Kalen DeBoer walking in the office, hey, Ryan Grubb's not coming. You're calling the offense this year. I'll be like, okay, coach, whatever you need. But you're like, oh, my goodness, I'm about to call the offense at Bama. All right, let's go. It was a little bit over his head. Now with him being moved to quarterbacks, we know that Coach Kalen DeBoer is loyal, puts him at the quarterback spot, can work with the quarterbacks, can still help kind of that transition pass over to Ryan Grubb. And from, a humility standpoint, that's what's up. That's good. Brilliant football mind in the room, you keep it. calling play. If he can't, if he's not suitable to call plays, that's fine. But have him work with the quarterbacks and kind of be, you know, underneath Ryan Grubb. Not mad at it at all. Whatever. All right, so a couple photos in from Alabama football. I'm sure you follow their official accounts. I'm going to zoom in on this photo. What stands out? Give me two things that stand out from this photo right here. So there with David Ballou. The fourth quarter program is a period during February where the guys are just, you know, putting in that work right before spring football, right before he turns them over to Coach Kalen Deboer and all the rest of the coaches. So David Blue's in the center, but what stands out to you in this photo? There's something that stands out to me. The shirt's tucked in. It stands out to me, but I don't know if they did that last year or not. Tony Campbell, appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so much. $19.99 super chat. That's what's up, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Literally my heart and soul goes into every single show. So I hope kind of my energy can radiate into you in some facts. So I appreciate that. Thanks, man. And sometimes I have to talk about some things that are uncomfortable in terms of like a negative way. I try to look at everything from two sides of a coin, but if like something sucks, we got to say it sucks. That's just part of it. All right. This is what stands out to me. Okay. Look at the guys in the front. You ever played sports? You know, the guys in the front are the leaders of the team. Okay. I see Ty Simpson right here. I see Ryan Williams right here. I see Tim Keenan right here. Okay. Eyes up, right? Eyes up. What's something that they say, right? Look, there's Coach Kapilovic right here. Eyes up. So, I don't know. I see these guys at the front of the line. Actually, Ryan Williams looks like he's put on a little bit of weight, too. He can get an updated weight. Yeah, thank you. Chris from New Jersey said the same thing that I just said. He looks a little bit thicker. What did he play at last year? Like 175? Ryan Williams at like 195 would be unstoppable. Yeah, and while these guys might wear, you know, the necklaces and all that stuff outside, like this looks pretty uniform, the tension, eyes up. I don't know. I like this photo. It stood out to me. Does anybody know who this is? Does anybody know who this is? This is Richard Young. This is Richard Young, one of the running backs at the university. Look at those traps, man. Shoot. So this running back room, we got to figure out how to. Another storyline is like, how does Ryan Grubb come in and utilize the running backs, utilize the running game? I have no insight on this. I feel it'll be more of a running back rotation. I felt that the running backs were underutilized last year, specifically Jam Miller. I am a big fan of this young man right here. I feel that Richard Young is very capable to serve as a very 1 and 2, like a 1-2 punch with Jam Miller. That's why it was a little bit interesting to see Alabama bring in Draylen Washington. Not hating, not saying that I don't like his game. I haven't even really seen much of his game, to be honest. I mean, I watched a couple clips, like the same clips that you did. And after that, I mean, and I kind of like that you have some bigger backs, because I look at, they list I need to get an updated height and weight on Jam Miller. Let's say Jam Miller is like 210? I think Richard Young might be like 220. And then you have an even bigger back in Daniel Hill, who's 240. Having the wide receivers that Alabama has, and then having some of these bigger running backs, I'm not mad at that at all. And when I think about Richard Young, there were a couple games where he came in and just like, you know, down in distance, he only had, 2 yards average or whatever. But the game where he really shined was against Missouri. If you want to go back and get excited about Richard Young, go back to that Missouri game. I think he had 62 yards in total. He had that really nice long run. He made somebody miss. Right? Alabama was like in the shadow of their own end zone. I haven't really seen him catch the football, so I don't know, what his ability is catching the football. Jam Miller catches the football really well. Dennis points out inside the comment box, I think the offensive line is more the reason we haven't had a dominant running game in the last couple of years. That could be true. I mean, Alabama hasn't had a running back hit the 1,000-yard mark in 3 seasons. But I definitely want to see the running backs be utilized. I mean, I do feel, just in my own opinion, that one of the running backs will hit the transfer portal after spring in that window. I just think with Alabama having all these receivers back, a quarterback that can really operate at the high level, you're probably going to only feed 3 running backs, and you have, quite a few on the roster. Maybe not. I don't know. This is Xavier Brown. We hyped up Xavier Brown recently on our show and gave him a lot of respect because why not? I mean, he's a freshman that came in and started at corner. You know how hard that is to do? Hardest position on the field is corner. You start as a freshman. That's why I'm saying, like, Coach Kalen Deboer isn't scared to play the best on the field because he played Xavier Brown at corner. But then you're like, well, if he didn't play the best, then why didn't, why did he keep Milroe in? I don't know. You could go a million different directions. Point is, this is Xavier Brown. He's a baller. He's returning. Started every single game last year for Alabama. Opposite side of Damani Jackson, who's also returning. Get excited about it. This guy's good. He is really, really good. I wasn't like surprised that Xavier became the starter, but you think about all this tells you how good Xavier Brown is. Think about all the freshman corners that came in last year that are probably fighting for that spot, like Jalen Mbakwe, right? He was a corner. I think Zay Mincy, I know he's now his safety, but I think maybe they tried him out at corner. Maybe Red Morgan. I know he's more of a Husky type player. My point is, like, Xavier Brown ended up being the guy at corner. Even beating out like a Deshaun Jones who came in from Wake Forest. There was some decent competition at the corner spot, but for him to win it says a lot. And for him to retain it says a lot as well. Damon Daly inside the comment box. Kyle, what do you think of Jam Miller and Richard Young can be as dynamic as Ohio State duo this past season? I would love to see it, man. It was interesting to see that Ohio State was able to utilize the running game and run the football as many times as they did. And I think that's something that you certainly have to do. What did each of those running backs account for? Like almost 1,000 yards each? It was incredible. And I know they played a lot of games on the season, but they kept those guys fresh and utilized those guys' their skill set. Do I want to believe that Jam and Richard are as good as those guys from Ohio State? Yeah. Are they? I don't know. Those guys are pretty prolific at Ohio State. And that's no disrespect to the guys like Jam Miller and Richard Young. It's just haven't really seen them in that many opportunities just yet. I mean, the most that we had an opportunity to see Jam Miller last year was against Auburn, where he ran for 28 times. Other than that, he was always running for like 10 times, 11 times. Didn't really see him get utilized. Chasing inside the comment box. Kyle, DeBoer's first year at Bama was merely him trying to win former players over so the program didn't sink to the portal. Yeah, that could really be true. Just trying to keep, the ship from sinking. He continues chasing inside the comment box. His recruits will transition to Alabama and DeBoer era in regards to roster spots. And you're starting to see that as well. I mean, I don't think we've ever went through the roster recently and been like, this is a Saban guy, this is a Saban guy, because it's starting to be more like Coach Kalen Deboer's type team. And Coach Kalen Deboer has already kind of hinted that there's a different vibe in the locker room and stuff, which is natural to see now that you have new leaders under new leadership starting to rise up. Man, Lil Ye's pointing out, he's like, next year, Richard Young and Daniel Hill. That'd be crazy to see. Think about Richard Young and Daniel Hill all 4 quarters. All right, you also have another photo. These are courtesy of the University of Alabama. This is from Jaden Roberts. Jaden Roberts is one of your 3 starting returning offensive linemen, right, at that right guard position. I don't know if he'll stay at the right guard position. What you don't see in this photo right here is he has still kind of like a brace on his left hand. I think that this guy played at like 70% all last year. I don't think he was 100% healthy. He had surgery like 3 days before the first game of the year. Chris from New Jersey asked, when is the first day of practice? I don't think they've sent out like the official first day of practice, so we'll keep you posted as soon as we hear that. I think this hurt the running game too. With him not being 100% healthy, I think it hurt the offense overall. And he still played. Tony Jr., what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Said, I don't think we go out and get another running back if we're completely satisfied with our running back room. What do you think? If a transfer leaves from the to the transfer portal after this season, I think you're fine with the running backs that you have on board. I kind of pointed out yesterday that I feel that like it would maybe Kevin Riley would hit the transfer portal again. I have no idea, but just based on like what we know, I mean, you have Jan Miller, Richard Young, Jalen Washington, Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, A.K. Deere. I don't know. You hate to lose any of these guys, but this is just, I mean, with the portal window being right after 3 days after the spring game, the guys are going to hit the portal. It's not like shocking content. It's just that's the world we live in right now. But when you have Jaden Roberts coming back, you have Parker Brailsford, you have Caden Proctor. Just need to figure out, who else is going to step up with the offensive line. You should have plenty of competition at the guard spot, trying to take over for Tyler Booker. And at right tackle, I guess Formby for now is going to be the guy. Let me ask you inside the comment box, out of the sites you read, 247, On3, Bama, Tide Illustrated, Rivals, who are you kind of feeling or getting a sense of that is going to be the left guard? Is it Cam Dewberry? Michael Carroll? Casey Poe? And this is another one, too, I'm watching, is like a player like Rock Montgomery. What does he do? Where does he play? Tony Jr. has running back Kevin Riley as his sleeper pick. The guy's fast, man. The small opportunities that we saw him play this past season, it looked like he had some good wills. I would like to see a hometown product. I mean, the guy's right out of Tuscaloosa County High School. Jarvis is saying Michael Carroll at that left guard position. Maybe so. And remember, we've seen things change from spring to the start of the season in terms of the offensive line rotation. Lil Ye points out that Cam Dewberry wasn't starting where he was at, which was Texas A&M. Lisa Lux saying Michael Carroll, roll tide to you. Yeah, Michael, I'm excited to see Keelan Russell, all the 5 stars, like first look at Michael Carroll. Man, during his senior year, he got nasty. He was big and nasty. One of the top offensive linemen in the entire country. That was a gigantic get. Because if you don't get Michael Carroll, remember that clip I'm talking about where he rolled over that poor dude? And he was playing to the whistle. There was nothing wrong with it. I think even his mom on film was like, "Stop it, Michael." You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that? Look it up. Go to X, Twitter, and just type in Michael Carroll, Malls dude. It's a big nasty dude. Bob Goldie Jr. inside the comment box saying Daniel Hill probably be the running back that leaves. I'd hate to see that. It's got to be, I would think it's one of those odd man out. Ricky Smith, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Well, yeah, that's our Thursday show for you, fam. Kind of leading off with Coach Kalen Deboer talking about, his excitement about that quarterback room and the competition. Also talking about, Ryan Grubb coming over and getting acclimated to the personnel that Alabama already has. I'm ready for some defense too. With the defense coming back and the offensive elements, Alabama, the schedule's going to be hard. Look at this schedule. Let's go full screen on it. This is a tough schedule, but they should be ready for it. There's enough talent. There's a couple holes, just like everybody has in college football, but you fill those holes and you roll with it. Florida State will meet much better. We talk about that all the time. We understand that. Surely they're not going to be worse. Man, that was the biggest disappointment last year was Florida State. Didn't Mike Norvell have to give back like half his salary or something like that? I also upload these to Spotify and to Apple Podcasts. So if you're on the road or whatever, check it out. Post some on the Facebook page, so go check that out as well. Sometimes I chop these up, but as news happens, I'm live. And I'm still toying with, like, sometimes popping on in the evening time. It's just sometimes I straight up run out of gas, or, I'm with my kids. So, I kind of just play it, as it comes. Plus, it's February. This is kind of the world that we live in. But spring football is just around the corner. So always content right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys rocking with me today. To all the super chatters, thank you so much. Case with the big 100 spot. Thank you so much, man. It means the world to me. And for you guys just dropping a thumbs up, means a lot as well. If you guys are fan funders, that's what's up. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this beautiful Thursday, February 20th. Have a beautiful day. Stay where your feet are. Be a good person. Remember what we talked about. Next hour mentality. I'll catch you soon, or as news happens, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I love you, fam. See you guys.